You're about to meet an amazing guitarist who loves flamenco and jazz and rock and blues and classical and grew up listening to traditional Mexican ranchero music. So what does Luis Villegas and his band today? Give a listen. What you're hearing now is the result of a long musical evolution. This number is called Nueva Vida, New Life. But it's a far cry from the music that Luis Villegas grew up with. Luis was raised in East LA, a first-generation son of Mexican immigrants. As a boy, he got to meet the famous Mexican ranchera singer, Vicente Fernandez, and listen to traditional Mexican ballads. But like so many teenagers, it was rock and roll that got him hooked on the guitar. So it was rock music, not Mexican music.
Not Mexican. That attracted me to the guitar, because the first instrument I ever wanted to play was an electric guitar. That was when I first felt like I really want to play guitar now. I really want to play. I want to learn that guitar solo that Jimmy Page does on Heartbreaker, or I want to learn Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. And this was, in the mid '80s, and when the rock and roll heavy metal explosion was happening here in Los Angeles too.
But heavy metal is not the kind of music mothers take comfort in.
I didn't understand it very well, but she trusted me.
Right, because rock and roll and drugs was all intertwined.
Yes, exactly. So that was her fear, but again, she trusted me, and she knew I had a good head on my shoulders.
All through high school and into college, Luis played in rock bands. Then in his early 20s, something happened. I
think I had hit a wall in my appreciation for rock music. I think I needed a little more stimulus.
He picked up the acoustic guitar and started experimenting with classical, jazz, and even flamenco music.
A lot of the techniques that I do are based on flamenco guitar techniques. A lot of thumb. A lot of this. But then I did a lot of classical music as well. This is when I was experimenting a lot, just learning a lot of different stuff. Like this is a piece, a J.S. Bach piece. A little bit of rock too, or blues.
Luis's mastery of the guitar pleases his father, who had an unfortunate experience when he was young.
When he was younger, he was after a particular girl, and one day their dad found out and chased him out and shot at him with a pistol.
Shot at your dad?
Shot at my dad, shot him in the hand, and I remember seeing, just a little something there, but he said that prevented him from playing guitar, an instrument he had always wanted to play.
Today, the Luis Villegas Band has a unique style, with Bryant Siono on bass, David on guitar, and Chris Trujillo on congas. His first CD was nominated for a Grammy in the New Age category. Then he was swept into the Nuevo Flamenco wave. And most recently, he's been one of the very few Latinos to be popular on smooth jazz stations. So what do you call what you do now?
That is one of the hardest questions. That question has been posed to me many times in the last 10 to 12 years, and I still don't have a good answer for you. Because it's really a mixture of a lot of different styles, I think. Especially growing up in LA, where you have this type of music here and that type of music there, and you really bring it all in. What comes out of you is an amalgamation of all these sounds.
Luis Villegas has performed with everyone from virtuoso guitarist Jesse Cook, and he's played for Placido Domingo and Janet Jackson as well. And despite the band's Latin jazz style, sometimes they just can't help themselves. So what's the next phase in the Luis Villegas evolution? That depends in part on the music business.
You know, the music business has changed so much. Record companies often try to categorize you so that you'll fit this mold or that mold. And with the new music business now, with the internet, it's splintered even more. I mean, you can get into subgenres of subgenres, and people will find you.
And with rhythms like this, more and more listeners from all corners of the music world are finding Luis Villegas. Luis Villegas has a new Christmas CD out, and you can hear them live along with two other groups at a concert sponsored by the Pasadena. It's this Monday evening at the Autry Center in Griffith Park. For details, go to PasadenaSymphony.org. The concert is free. And that's our program. I'm Val Zavala. Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Life and Times is made possible through the